Hello YouTube Axis and Allies brethren. Welcome to the turret in Goldsboro, North Carolina. We're doing Japan round 3. So this is the J3 part of this game. This is the Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition 1941 version between Cpt Jack and Pvt Joe as the Axis and LT as the Allies. So for Japan's production in this round, I will say that was a really good round by LT with Russia. He did some really good non-combat moves. He didn't do much in the way of combat, but the non-combat moves were excellent. Really got us to thinking here. But anyway, so for our purchases in this round, we're going to start out with a transport for 7, 2 destroyers for 8 apiece, 1 carrier, and 1 fighter for a total of 24 for those two. So we'll have 2 IPCs left over to carry over for the next round. All right, so for the first combat move in this turn, we've got 1 bomber coming from Hawaii, moving 3 spaces, 1, 2, and 3, auto-killing this British transport off the coast of the Philippines. That bomber will have 3 movements left in its fuel gauge for non-combat. Second combat move, we're bringing this aircraft carrier from Zone 38 off the coast of the East Indies up 1 space to auto-kill this British transport that was in Zone 37 off the coast of Burma and French Indochina. And the last battle of this turn, which will actually have some combat in it, we've got 3 fighters coming from Kwang Tung, moving at 1, 2, and 3. They'll have 1 movement left in their fuel gauge. We've got 2 infantry from Burma going into India. We've got 1 transport carrying 1 artillery and 1 infantry from the East Indies. There they are. We've got 2 fighters from the carrier that was off the coast of the East Indies, moving 1, 2 spaces. They were here, so they're moving 1, 2 spaces. So they'll have 2 movements left in their fuel gauge as well. So they've gone from Zone 38 to India. And we also have 1 battleship and 1 cruiser that left Zone 38 as well, moving 1 space up, and they will be supporting the amphibious assault units with a bombardment. So we'll set that up on the battle board now. All right, so we've got the battle set up here. What we're going to do is roll for the bombardment first. That's the first stage of this combat. So we've got 1 red die, 1 blue die rolling for the battleship and the cruiser. Here we go. And we got 1 hit. So he'll lose 1 infantry unit. Now, since there's 5 fighters coming in, gets to fire 5 black dice for the anti-aircraft. So here is the British roll for the anti-aircraft fire. 1 hit. So 1 fighter has been lost. So now we'll move the cruiser and the battleship out since they're done with their bombardments. We'll place them back in the sea zone. And now we'll commence with the rest of the battle. We've got, we'll move the anti-aircraft gun back as well. So we've got 2 infantry, an infantry and an artillery at 2. We've got 4 fighters. That's 4 blue die. Oops. So here is that roll now. They're needing several hits, so we'll just roll and add them up. We got 1, 4, 5 hits, all four blue die hit, believe it or not, and one of the green die hit. So we got 4 hits here. So that will, let's see here. That'll take out, yeah, that'll take out this infantry, both tanks, and both fighters. That will actually eliminate all of them. Wow, okay. So I hadn't really calculated that up all in my head yet, so, but okay, a little surprised. All right, so the UK will get to return fire with 2 green die, the 2 infantry defending, 2 armor divisions or tanks with 2 blue die, and 2 red dice for the fighters. So here is their roll, and 2 hits. So 2 hits here. So we're going to take and lose. Okay, so there was 2 hits in that last roll, so we're going to lose. 2 fighters. Hate to lose fighters in this game, but we're going to have to in this one. So we'll place the units back on the battle board. Calcutta and India is now in possession of the Empire of Japan. So we'll place those units back on the board now. The 2 fighters that were destroyed had the, there was the 3 fighters that were destroyed were the ones that had 1 movement left. So the 2 going back into India will have 2 movements left in their fuel gauges. All right, so for non-combat movements, this bomber off the Philippine Islands in C Zone 50 has 3 movements left, so it's going to go 1, 2, and 3 and land in Burma. The 2 fighters that attacked in India have 2 spaces left, and they're going to go back to Burma as well, moving 1 space. All right, that concludes our non-combat movements for this round. All right, so this is the place units phase turn of the turn. Place units phase of the turn. Sorry. So we've got 1 transport going down into C Zone 62. I think everybody knows where these are going. They're all going in C Zone 62. So we've got 2 destroyers, 1 transport, and 1 carrier with a fighter that I just dropped. Going down into C Zone 62. All right, so that means they'll have 2 IPCs left over. Okay, so since Japan took the country of India, that means they'll move up 3 IPCs from 22 to 25. The UK will move down from 34 down to 31. So Japan will collect 25 IPCs for this round, plus 1 5 IPC bonus for controlling Hawaii and or India. And they'll have 2 IPCs that'll roll over for the next round, so 32 IPCs to spend next round. So that concludes the J3 turn for this game. Okay, so for the unit recap portion of this turn, we have, so for India, there are 2 infantry and 2 artillery with 1 factory and 1 AA gun. Thanks for the factory, UK. Of course, I don't know how long we're going to hold it, but we've got it for now. In C Zone 35, we have 1 transport, 1 battleship, and 1 cruiser. In C Zone 37, we have 1 aircraft carrier. In Burma, 2 fighters and 1 bomber. In Borneo, 2 infantry. In Hawaii, 1 infantry. Okinawa, 1 infantry. Iwo Jima, 1 infantry. In Sea Zone 62 off the coast of Japan, we've got 2 destroyers, 1 transport, 1 aircraft carrier with a fighter. And on the Big Island of Japan, we've got 2 tanks and 3 infantry units. So that concludes the J3 turn for this game. It is, to say the least, it's become very interesting. The battle in the Pacific is looks quite thin. Anyway, so from the turret room in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Captain Jack and Pvt Joe, over and out.